Storytelling is an ancient art form. As long as people have come together, we've had storytellers. Through the ages, a storyteller has been shaman, healer, preacher, historian, carrier of news, guardian of culture, and teacher. Storytelling is education. The art of storytelling is made up of three equally important components: the story, the storyteller, and the listeners. In order for storytelling to be a successful art form, all three parts must be of equally good quality. Where do we find good stories? Anywhere and everywhere. Stories are not only found in books, but are all around us. A successful storytelling event has to have interesting stories with message and meaning. A good story has aesthetically pleasing structure and universal appeal. Matchbook.org maintains a juried list of storytellers who are eligible for New England State's touring funding. In an educational setting, the storyteller matches the presentation and workshops to the curriculum. It's helpful to have a seasoned storyteller with classroom teaching experience. The listeners are an essential ingredient to the success of a storytelling program. Listeners require space that is free from auditory and visual distractions. Ideally, they are comfortable, free from internal distractions. They are curious and open to learning. When these three elements of storytelling are balanced and of equally good nature, the magic of storytelling happens. That space where all three elements connect and overlap is the place where time stands still. That once-upon-a-time spot that tickles curiosity and opens us up to learning. Every school and even each classroom has its own culture. Storytelling is an art form that creates classroom culture, expands knowledge of other cultures, and values diversity. Storytelling programs are designed to enhance the curriculum. Unfortunately, the arts are not always an integral part of the curriculum. All too often, students are instructed to leave their books and go to the auditorium for an enrichment program. After the program, students return to the classroom to continue the lesson that the program interrupted. A successful arts program is integrated into the curriculum. Government has required the educational system to be more accountable and to leave no child behind. Similarly, artists may be required to increase their accountability. This is a good thing, but many teaching artists are concerned that there may be pressure to write a cookbook for their art form. Storytelling is and always has been education. It is dependent on the use of language, and therefore it facilitates and enhances students' spoken and written language. Storytelling can be integrated into language arts, history, social studies, science, and even math. A professional storyteller offers many different programs and several types of residencies. A residency provides more opportunities for students to enhance their learning through the art of storytelling. Residents are planned with teachers and have goals and objectives that match and enhance the curriculum. As educators know, the success of a basal reader or a science book is dependent upon the teacher who implements it. A program implemented without knowledge about the art form or without passion for the medium is foolishness. One artist's recipe for a successful program may be very different from another's. Teaching artists develop checklists and forms to evaluate their programs. Success of a school residency is dependent upon administration investment and teacher interest. I provide teachers with lesson plans and include them in planning and assessment of the program. As a teaching artist, I'm always delighted to learn that storytelling continues after I've gone. The letters and pictures that I receive from students and teachers are another way I evaluate the success of my storytelling programs. And sometimes I meet students or a parent of a former student, and when the child's experience is remembered years later, I know that the storytelling event was successful. My student as storyteller residencies and after-school programs emphasize the importance of respecting and honoring each other. A storyteller must feel what they have to say is of value. Standing up in front of an audience demands storytelling skills and a willingness to take a risk. Most of the stories that beginning storytellers tell are folk tales. They come from books. Students do not memorize the story. The story map that you see here is one exercise designed to move away from the printed page and bring the story to life. Students practice telling their stories to each other. Learning how to give and receive useful feedback is an important part of my Student as Storyteller program. Students coach each other's storytelling, and they learn how to express their appreciation of each other as individuals as well as artists. A successful Student as Storyteller school residency ends with a Student Storytelling Festival. Students may perform their stories in a class that is not their own, or there may be a school assembly, or they may tell their story in a public venue. A successful storytelling residency creates community. The magic between story, storyteller, and listener is larger and more vibrant. Teachers and students listen with the storyteller's ear. Students are more open to learning, willing to ask questions, and more comfortable speaking in a group. Storytelling can be as nourishing for the soul as a hearty soup is for the body. This brief presentation has allowed us to lift up the lid on a wonderful dish and have a taste of the possibilities that storytelling can bring to your school.